Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, episode 65. And last time, it was revealed that Kaito was the one that died trying to protect Maki from being the Blackened by killing Kokichi. So essentially Maki was going to kill Kokichi with some arrows. Kaito dived in front and took the arrow, but essentially doomed Maki anyway. Because Kaito ended up dying. But it seems that Kokichi then threw Kaito into the hydraulic press after it was assumed that Kaito was dead, but it turns out he might not have been dead, so we're going to see what's going on. Oh, Kokichi was actually trying to set up a unsolvable murder by having it so you don't know who the actual... Oh, hello. What's going on? Oh, okay. 1 second. 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Don't you leave. Yeah, so the other thing is that Kokichi was trying to orchestrate an unsolvable murder by having us not know whether it was the hydraulic press that killed Kaito, or was it the poison that was on the tip of the arrow. Let's move forward. Let's go. LFG. Gamers.
The gimmick of this murder case isn't the unknown victim, but rather the unknowable culprit. No one understands but me. Only I know the answer.
Oh, okay.
There's no more room for deduction here. Choose the culprit with your own intuition.
Intuition?
Are you troubled? I'm sure robots don't have intuition, right?
Robophobia, not cool.
But there's nothing you can do about it. This is just how the trial goes. So, who is the culprit? Maki or me? The heart-racing excitement as the Blackened and the Spotless face off. It's voting time!
Hey, who's Monokuma? You or Monokuma? Oh, we've got to vote for somebody. Well. Okay. Kokichi.
Hey, that's my line. The one who decides when it's voting time.
Oh, come
Nice.
on. No one's gonna figure out the truth. Let's just vote already. This won't be a problem, right, Monokuma? Because you know who the culprit is, don't you? Just like you always do.
Huh? Yes, of course.
Yeah? What kind of a reaction is that?
The culprit, you say? Yes, of course I know.
Why do you seem so flustered?
Flustered? Me? What are you talking about?
I like the idea that Monokuma knowing who the murderer is, up until this point, it's just been utter guesswork.
Monokuma?
He's been failing upwards.
You don't know who the culprit is either?
Huh? Oh, what do you mean I don't know? What don't I know, huh?
You don't know, do you? What does this mean? Why doesn't Monokuma know who the culprit is?
Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is either. If Monokuma doesn't know, what does that tell us about this case? Wait. This case?
Yes, that's it! So that's what Kokichi's real objective was.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Kokichi wasn't just trying to commit a murder that we couldn't figure out. He was trying to commit a murder that Monokuma couldn't figure out either.
Monokuma couldn't figure out? But what's the point of that? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
But consider how many elements of this case would be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knew the specific details of each crime, correct? That must mean that he was using some way of monitoring us.
Perhaps there are hidden cameras strategically placed to avoid our detection.
I can't say for certain, but he
Oh,
must be keeping watch somehow.
there's the electro bomb.
Kokichi probably used the electro bomb to
Yeah, to scramble all the cameras and stuff.
The electro bomb would prevent any cameras from sending video wirelessly.
Interesting.
Which means it wouldn't matter where the surveillance cameras were hidden.
Like I said, what's the point? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma!
Unless he isn't.
Before we determine that for sure, I want to make one thing clear. If the objective were to create a crime that would stump Monokuma, the exosols... Yes, the exosols weren't protecting
They were
Monokuma.
keeping him there.
They were.
Watching him. Admiring him.
That's it!
I got it.
They were watching Monokuma.
Watching him?
Yes. Remember what Monokuma said earlier in the investigation?
Oh, at the time, the Exisals were on autopilot and directed to only observe me.
If they were protecting him like bodyguards, they wouldn't have been facing him. They would have been scanning the area, watching us. But they weren't. That implies that they weren't watching us. They were watching him. They were trying to make sure that Monokuma wouldn't go near the crime scene.
That reminds me. Before I stole an exosol, all 4 units were focused on Monokuma. That's why when I stole one to enter the hangar, the other 3 didn't pursue me.
So Monokuma must have been talking about Maki.
I just thought to mention that just now. Oh yeah. Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead. That way it'll be fair to all the participants.
She didn't want to share that information because it would have linked her to the murder. In which case, it could only be Maki.
You're right.
So to summarize this discussion,
Because I've been following all the time, but you know, just to really put the nail in this coffin here so that we can move on.
use the electro bomb in the hangar and the exosols to watch Monokuma, thereby creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is?
I told you there's no point! Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma!
No,
Monokuma!
he might not be controlling Monokuma at all.
What?
But Kokichi's the mastermind, right? Shouldn't he be controlling Monokuma?
Oh.
Kokichi might not be the mastermind. But the only reason we think that is
I didn't think he was.
told us.
And he's a liar.
Monokuma hasn't said a word about that. It's possible that Kokichi is just lying to us.
No way I lied! I'm definitely controlling Monokuma. The mastermind of the killing game is totally me. The one who pitted humanity's last survivors against each other is... all me, baby.
Right. He's a remnant of despair. How'd we forget that?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the mastermind.
Well, I guess. But is that really possible? Well, Monokuma,
I can't answer that without causing problems, because I've got to run this trial fair and square.
Even more reason to give us the answer. If you don't tell us the truth right now, you'll be an accomplice to Kokichi's lies. Does that sound like a fair game? Would you say this class trial is fair?
yeah, tell us. Is Kokichi the real mastermind or not?
No need to think about it. You're being way too forward, you know.
Aren't you normally the forward one?
Ah,
I mean, I don't mind, because that's probably part of your strategy, too. But in the interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth.
the truth will
Unlike
set you
the
free.
lies you love so much, the truth should be impartial to everyone.
And what is that truth?
I'm not being controlled by Kokichi, because he's not the mastermind.
I knew it!
Is that really true?
Kokichi was just messing with you. Said he was the mastermind.
He was just teasing you.
Then it was all Kokichi's lie?
Yeah, that is what that would mean. With the key from the last motive, he was the first to learn the truth of the outside world. Based on his deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you all think he was the mastermind.
Because he's weird.
Kokichi's own deductions.
Do you want to know? Then I'll tell you. I'm getting kind of bored with all the lying, so everything I say now will be the truth, okay?
His deductions got a lot of details right, though. Pretty impressive, honestly.
What about the Exosols? If Kokichi wasn't the mastermind, how'd he control them so easily?
He just used Mew's remote control, right?
Mew's remote control.
So the remote that Kokichi was using was made by Mew?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, we didn't know that.
Mew not only invented the electro bomb and the electro hammer, she also made a remote control that can hijack any electronic device. Kokichi just slapped a receiver on each of the Exosols and took them for a spin.
So that might mean that there's nobody actually in this Exosol?
Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered up that info purely out of spite. Spite towards you for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game.
Well, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway.
What's going on? It seems like they're actually fighting.
There's no doubt about it. Kokichi isn't the mastermind.
Were we just being dragged around by Kokichi's lies the whole time?
What were you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi?
Now you're gonna be all quiet? This is so frustrating.
Then if he's not the mastermind, who is?
Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with?
What?
What do you mean?
Why, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
I think I do.
No.
The real mastermind is not Kokichi. Who could it be? I was thinking it was Junko Enoshima, but that can't be it. She's dead. We never come into contact with her. If so, who's done this? Who planned this killing game?
Anyway, this conversation has flown off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class trial is to figure out who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So, yeah, get to talking.
I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit!
But Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results?
We
Please
don't
look
need
that
to worry
video
about
again.
that. Let's just leave the decision-making to Monokuma. But you gotta run the class trial too. So no mistakes, okay?
Okay.
Are you trying to get me to do something?
You've been watching us solve all these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore.
No, no, no.
You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out.
Huh?
So, let's resume this class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain. This will be the final class trial. Me versus Monokuma.
You versus Monokuma?
When I play a game, I intend to win. But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players? No. Beating the game's mastermind is the true victory. And that's how I'll win! That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma! If I can deceive Monokuma till the very end, then I'll be the winner!
You're dragging us around like this? Just so you can win a game?
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
But since the outside
You're friggin'
world
nuts.
is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment we have. At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
He doesn't know what that means though, so
Remnant of despair. Whatevs. Let's just get this started. If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the winner.
Don't underestimate me, or Shuichi and the others for that matter.
don't underestimate me. But mainly Shuichi and the others. What?
It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game. But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again.
Whose side are you taking here?
Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party.
That's really funny. That's like a Smash Brothers reference. Oh no, it wasn't. That's how they are at the very start, aren't they? But is that like a Smash Brothers reference in general? It looks very Smash Brothers.
Well, we were going to do it anyway.
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Yeah, let's just focus on the case.
Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you.
Now, where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after.
He's just gonna keep talking anyway, isn't he?
In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact, you learn something else along with it.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you are both robots.
Robophobia. Not cool. So another truth comes out. That piece of evidence makes more sense now. The evidence that I couldn't wrap my head around. Is it the video? Where is that video? Shows the moment Kaito was crushed by the hydraulic press.
This is it!
I get it! Hope it is, anyway.
Let's discuss the video
Yes.
of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press.
Splat.
She said that he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma. So what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Maybe he crushed Kaito with a hydraulic press, so the cause of death would be unknown?
But if that were the only objective, there would be no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you. Huh? Really?
There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you wanted Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video. It must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of Taking the video of the murder but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show? Oh, Hangman's Gambit. 3 letters. CT. VCT. Victim. Victim? VICT. Yeah, VICTIM. Yeah, victim. There's a V. That's an I. I think this is a C. Yes. Whoo! Good eye. T. I? Yes! I've not done it in 2 before. I got it.
The victim.
The victim.
Huh?
Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now, we know that.
If you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. And that might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Switched? Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
It did look a lot like Kaito, though.
What?
In the clothes?
Where would he even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
Oh, yeah.
If there was an unknown body, then we could guess the victim was switched. But too bad. Switching the victims was impossible.
Definitely looks like Kaito.
The footage showed the body being crushed. When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim? And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way. The camera doesn't have any editing functions. Just play, record, and pause.
So you pause it.
Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage. Remember?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if
Guess
the victim
not.
was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is impossible.
It might be possible.
Oh.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Oh, and what trick is that? See, you don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well.
Alright, good job.
So, can you confirm whether or not the victims switch places? If Kaito is alive or not?
Maki.
I don't want
Of course
the
I can't
thought
do
that I
that.
killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then. Let's talk about the possibility that Makiro mentioned.
I'll use my magic to let my hat float in the air.
Himiko, if you call her that again...
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Then let's all talk it over together.
Together. And don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only going to wear you out. When times are hard, you got to rely on your friends. He knew exactly what to say
Figure something
and
out.
when to say it.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out,
maybe we'd know how they switched places.
I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time. Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
Trick to that video. Ooh. Covers the face and then it slams down, so maybe. What could it be? What's suspicious about it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look what hydraulic press says.
There must
A short distance away from the device itself, there are two buttons labeled up and down. It also features a safety function. The body was crushed by the hydraulic press and is unidentifiable. Okay. So it doesn't stop for any
be some
reason.
trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out.
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video. Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me.
Yeah, the way it pauses, right?
Press stopped for a brief.
Yes! Oh, god damn it.
That
Could
the
it be?
video was shot at another location?
No.
Any other bright ideas? Come on, everybody, speak up!
Okay, let's do it again.
That's what you all gotta figure out.
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video. Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about
Right,
that video.
here.
When the hydraulic press.
J'agree!
I agree.
I give consent.
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press,
It just went straight down, didn't it?
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
but in the video,
The hydraulic press stopped briefly? Right before it crushed the body?
But why would it stop?
Why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. Alright. So what are we looking for? The controls or something? Okay. Oops. Oh no.
I see it.
Got it.
the only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember.
Someone else was there?
So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
While the camera was rolling.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Oh. Oh, is it there's footage missing from the camera because of the bomb?
Huh? Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press.
So is it actually Kaito in there? And then he's gonna go because he's gonna be the blackened because he killed Kokichi. Yes, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. If you stop that, you could have swapped the bodies easily. Okay. Oh, is that the camera? I think we need that, right? Okay. Okay, get rid of that. Oh, get damn it.
I see it.
I got it! Let's go!
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it
I kind of
just
suggest
looks
that
like the press stopped for a
it needs to be
moment.
2 people. Maybe not.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
When did you ever say
That's
that?
what I said!
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely.
Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up? It must have been set up. If you have to do it at the same time, it has to be set up here. Maybe it was set up right next to the press. A pretty close angle, but you couldn't press the switch from there.
Damn it!
Everyone's staring at me. I screwed up. I think I'm a fraud. Hang on. Hang on. Where are the controls then? I thought these were the controls.
There!
Right. I got it. I was just a fraction of a centimeter out.
The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here. To operate the press and the camera at the same time, you would have to be near the switch.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves the trick was used.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
There was a reason the camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height.
It hides the face.
When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position, so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket.
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right?
What is a 4D pocket a reference to?
Kokichi
Kokichi used that video angle trick.
Is that a
and switched
game
the
or something?
victim in the hydraulic press.
Some sort of game?
In that case, Kaito is...
Also dead.
Or he was crushed by the press. He was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive!
Well, wait just a minute.
What? But I just summed it up so...
Oops. So nicely.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Wait, the mastermind?
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so... I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well. I'll answer that.
You're giving in pretty easily.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
Right.
You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible! All the dead bodies have already...
Oh, okay. So that means it has to be Kokichi that's died.
Thrown away?
And that means that can't be Kokichi, so who is that? Kaito?
The other bodies are... gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Oof, okay. Alright, well that looks like it's another episode of Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, and I will see you next time where we're going to find out who Kaito was swapped out for. Fascinating. Is it going to be Kokichi? I guess it has to be, right? There's no one else it can be. I guess we're going to find out next time. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.